Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender's Thursday post FOMC day, September 18th, 2025. We're going to take a look at SPX as usual, and then we'll go around the horn on the different indices so you can see that really, even though it felt like today was just a burst to the upside, we're just really completing these moves here. And not a whole lot changed for pretty much anything except for SMH and NVIDIA, of course. NVIDIA is in an equilibrium. We're not going to show that one, but it has not made new highs or anything. But SMH certainly had that gap up, and we'll show you SMH as well and what kind of broadening formation that has formed and where we're at right now. So, get ready for a rug pull. It's on the horizon. So here's SPX. By the way, we're doing this intraday about 1:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these intraday, consider becoming a YouTube supporter. It's 99 cents a month, and I really appreciate all of you. So we have SPX on this naked chart here. We're looking at the trend. The trend is up, and we're going to keep a good eye on this indicator. Here we added on recently. If you would have bought here, you'd be making some money. So we'll keep track. I'm not going to go back to history of that. So far, the trend is up. All right. But as I say, as usual, the 8 EMA, that's our momentum, is up. 20, that's our trend indicator, right? Let's add on our technical analysis, our traditional. And we are here. Okay, the wedge is still forming. Look like we're going to break out. We're holding above here. I'm going to give you a different look at this, though, in just a minute. And so we'll be keeping an eye on this this candle, see if we close above or below here to show strength or not. Okay, so let's move on. Calling oscillator. Giving a little peek up here. IWM is having a big move, so that's going to give us a little bit of a movement up here and breadth. But just keep in mind that all we're doing is the same thing as here, a lower high on this new high. Okay. And quickly, we finally got a RSI divergence here on the daily time frame. We're getting the sell signal on the slow stoch. We'll keep an eye on that MACD. No sell signal there yet. DMARC. It's not going to show. It hasn't been showing up on SPX here, but we do have a 9 count on SPX. That's on SPY, and so we'll go over there. Now, you may be wondering why I chart SPX so often. The chart's a lot more clean. There's the dividend on SPY that skews things, and then there's ES with the contract rolls, and that's okay. I'll show you ES too. We have a good chart on there as well. But here's the DMARC. So we got that 9 count yesterday, or day before yesterday, and on QQQ we got the 9 count today. Or excuse me, yesterday. Two days ago for SPY, yesterday for QQQ. And money flow index with a brand new high here. We have our first divergence since this overbought situation. Let me pull up the divergence board here. All right. Let's steal one of these or duplicate it and give you one of these. So this is a potential turning point. Bollinger Band clearly in top, sell signal. So with this indicator, this setup in itself, you have your overbought situation with negative divergence into the upper end of the Bollinger Band. Elliot oscillator, okay, starting to make new highs here over these peaks. Now it has not over these, and on the lower time frame, we already confirmed that we have a possible ending to this move here, and we'll just see where it takes us after that. So it does show a little strength. That's a check mark for the bulls. And let's take a little look around. Let's start with the VIX. Okay, so our VIX here, we actually have a false candle at this point. It's actually a higher low here where we opened. I'm not sure where that wick came in. So we still have the lows, and we have a low way back here. We had a higher low in our cycle low, our dominant cycle low here, and we're making a higher low. And so we're setting up and a nesting here. We should be breaking out of this probably by next week, this wedge here. So we're fighting with the moving averages. We're just pressing up against the 8. Really the combination of, we have 20, the 8 EMA, and the 50 right here. So getting above the 50 would be a good starting point for a bearish move in the market. Okay, so some of the indices. Now, QQQ, we're going to keep an eye on this channel that we have here. There's no real other situation. In the weekly time frame, you can see a clear resistance that we're at. But with this channel here on the daily, we don't have much more to really kind of give a resistance to. So we're going to see how this closes, whether it's one day or if we end up gapping down underneath and back into the wedge or so, or maybe we close under the today of that wedge or of that channel. But this is the only one that I don't think has an ending diagonal to it. Okay, I think it's more of a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Okay, so that's how I'm counting it. Where this is complete. There was never an ending diagonal in this entire move here. So on SPX it's different, and on the other indices it's different. So let's do it. I think we have cleaner charts on the RUT. Nope. Well, I worked on them anyway. The whole point is, let's go draw this to where I think it's going to be. So now that we have our ending diagonal, we had our wave 4 here, and now we're counting this as an ending diagonal where this is wave 1 right here. This is going to make total sense to you. And you have that throw over right now, and this is the only one that's really in that position to have a throw over. And you'll see the bottom of the wedge fits perfectly to this 1 2. You have a little channel working out there. So you'll see that in the lower time frame. Right now, what we're waiting for in this video, we'll probably get it, is we have an all-time high, or at least a previous. I'm looking up top here. So we have a high of, our first all-time high is 2 4 5 8. This one is 2 4 6 6 4 9. Okay, so we're looking at maybe even while this video is happening here, we already made an all-time high in RUT, but IWM, we're looking to complete that all-time high. We haven't done that yet. And so, you know, really to put this in perspective, the move that's been happening here, you know, we're not stretching out. Okay, so SMH maybe, we're not really stretching out on the on this move here. We're actually tightening up. This is an ending diagonal for DJX, RUT. Again, this NDX is kind of on its own, and SMH has a broadening pattern. Now we had that throw over, looked like we were going to break out from there, and now we're getting back under it with a possible reversal candle. So we'll have to see how that closes as well, but that has a broadening formation there. Now let's go to the lower time frame for, I just worked some things out for, well, first of all, SPX. Let's go to 65. We did the wave count here on SPY. Sorry, I'm bouncing around. A lot of charts here. Okay, so here's what we changed our count to. So we have our low. This was our wave 3 into wave 4 on a higher degree. And so this zigzag here was wave 1. Through wave moved for wave 2. Wave 3 was shorter than wave 1. So this is a contracting ending diagonal. Here's your wave 4 and your wave 5. So what you do and these is it's no longer that big wedge that we've been looking at. You can always leave those on. That it is still telling, but if you want to draw it appropriately to Elliott wave analysis, then we have to we're going to take the top of wave 1 and cross it with wave 3, and that's when we get the top of a potential top for wave 5. Now, obviously, there's that situation where the you throw over, but this is how you properly measure out your possible wave 5 ending, and there's your contracting wedge, and this is your standard Elliott wave analysis. So we have a wave 1 into 2, 3, 4 with FOMC, and 5 today. Can it go up for one more little high there? I don't know if that wave is complete. It potentially off of the top of the wedge here. Of course, that's an objective short, and we did do that, and we'll see if it goes up one more for the end of the day or so. But I do suspect that IWM will possibly get a high. It doesn't have to, because we're in resistance right now, and the way you could count it, there's a B wave top that we're looking at this, so it doesn't really have to make a new high today or not, but if it does, great. So you have your RUT, which one was I drawing it on? Okay, so here's your ending diagonal for the rut. Again, mimicking what happened, the zigzag here on SPX. We have 1, 2, and we start to contract. There's 3, right up top here, 4, and 5. Now we drew a channel from 2 to 4, and that gave us a potential top here as well. And so you could, I mean, I could count this. There, you know, you can always, if that's 1, then this works out perfect. But if this is just a throw over, doesn't really matter. You go to the top here, and then you have an ABC for wave 5 up top here into the wedge or channel. Doesn't really matter. And also into the 786. So that gave us a possible, if we took the top of here, that if that's wave 3 here, then we're looking at the 618 was the first, and then 786 fib extension to give us our resistance there. All right, now again, I do suspect that IWM should make just one more new high, probably by the end of the day or so. And it's the same thing with DJX. You know, after this move here, here's your wave 4 that goes along with all the other retracements. Here's a 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. 3 could be the top here, or it could be or that could be a expanded flat. So this is the beginning of your next move. Your last move, you have wave 1 into 2, and then a smaller 3, 4, and really contracting to 5. And that's your ending diagonal, where you draw 1 into 3, gives you the top of 5, 2, and a 4. Okay, so that's kind of the whole point of this conversation, is that these are, you know, we have a lot of things topping out here. Tesla hit that 430 that we were looking for today. We thought it was going to happen yesterday, but it did not. So, but it makes sense going into today, what other things are moving up. And so here we have our 3, 4, 5. We just showed that. Let's go to the traditional look here, so we can get you out of here. Okay, so yeah, you know, this could throw over this wedge right here, and we don't have it drawn to the top of wave 1. In this near term, let me change this one because I want to be a lot more accurate to the Elliott wave analysis. So again, this can go higher, beaten up on top of the wedge here. The only thing it can't do is wave 5 be longer than 3, but I mean, obviously it's not going to hit there unless this is more of a 1-2, 1-2 nesting, and we're finally reaching out into a much bullish move here, all the way up to 7,000 or so as a blow off top. I guess that's nothing's impossible here. The market's been continuing to move higher. So here's your look. And so when you're using an ending diagonal, this is when it becomes really important to really just use that standard setup for the MACD, RSI. You have the lower high going into that lower high, so the divergences into that wedge here. And that doesn't always signal the end of an entire move, but obviously we've been moving higher and higher, and I do believe this is the end of the last wave here, and that I think it's very, very improbable. We'll keep looking at it, but that we're going to come back for a wave 4 and then a wave 5 higher for whatever, a blow off top or something. I truly believe this is the blow off top, the whole entire move here. So our trend is still up. Give you a little whipsaw yesterday, but give you a buy signal after the close here above the 20, and then you got the gap up. Moving averages 820, momentum's up, trends up, at resistance. We looked at this DMARC, we're almost to a 13 count. That would be another setup there. Money flow on that move higher. Distribution. Boom. Bollinger Band, sell signal. Starting to get the sell off from there. Elliot oscillator, this is the near term that we use a 2 hour, we used an hour and 30 minute for our members videos, and with that curve being less sensitive, we just now got this move here. We had a little one yesterday from this move to this move, which is a wave 4 and a 5. I'm not discounting that, but when you have a smoother moving average, that gave us the bigger wave 4 and 5 here. So we only had one peak into a lower high into this move right here. So that gave us a much more of a confirmation that our high is up here. Okay, so here's the real VIX without the spike underneath. Boom, and just making a higher low once again. Low, higher low, breakout out of the wedge, and we're looking for a higher low. It's setting up nicely, and I think we'll get this move here. I don't know if we'll end the week off maybe back at the options expected move, but be ready for anything. This is the triple witching, or quadruple, some people say, because of the futures as well. But so this move could be big, but we won't expect anything much more of a rug pull until next week. All right, so I hope that helps, and then we will talk to you in the next video. Thanks for the likes and the subscriptions, and don't forget to join the Discord, and we'll see you there.